Hello, Ramon. Good morning. I don't know about you in Vegas, but I got snow this morning.
Oh
Surprise.
boy. Well, it's
Right?
been cold here. I don't know. I've only been here a
You
week
haven't
or
been out of
so.
the cave yet?
The
The
first day
satellite
or two we
studio
had
in Las Vegas,
weather, but
Nevada.
for Southern California, it's cold here. But hello to you, Mindy Hahn. Thank you again, and thank you everybody for joining us here for more Morning Steam. It's Friday. Just kidding, Mindy Hahn. It's Thursday, but it's
I
our
was so messed
Friday.
up yesterday. I
It's
know.
Friday.
Ramon was like, I was like, hey, why are we going to do that tomorrow? It's not even like Thursday yet. And he's like, Mindy, it's Thursday. I'm like, oh, geez, I think I need a nap.
Well, that's the holiday season. The words kind of run together, right? The days kind of run together when we get into the holidays a little bit. So thanks everybody for coming, and we're gonna be here we'll probably take the big day, the big holiday off, but we'll preview those games in 10 days away from Christmas and all that. So, man, look at everybody's rolling into the chat already. Hello to everybody. Welcome to More Morning Steam for a Thursday. It's our Friday. You guys know that. We take tomorrow off, so we'll start to dig into the bowls a little bit. There'll be a bowl game tomorrow morning. Excited about the bowls. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, we'll miss all the big cards, but certainly, Joe Jiggy, Louisville wins, big time, Louisville wins.
I know,
Oh,
right?
let's get to those comments before we get rolling here. We got a lot of games to cover, mostly hockey. So hope Latifa's coming. I hope you guys are all ready for a ton of hockey today. But we've got the 4-game NHL card. We got news from last night. Obviously, we've got to talk about a little bit before we roll into the games. We did put a few college basketball games on there. We'll preview the Mary in the Woods. No, what is it? No,
Yeah, Mary of the Woods, I believe is what it was. I was like, "Hey, Ramon, why does this, show that it's on ESPN?" He's like, "It's ESPN Plus." I was just having a really bad day. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say.
okay, we will not be previewing the Mary of the Woods game. Mary in the Wood, Mary in the Wood, Mary of the Wood. Uh, oh boy, let me get to some of these comments already. You guys are on fire in the chat. Thanks everybody for coming today. We're gonna have a fun show. It looks like here with all these uh, comments. Good morning to Ron. Good morning. Here comes Seaver. He's gonna make good on his bet. He said. I think
I said, "You
Mindy's
guys, it won't let me officially write my whole email address. I mean, it must be something like, no can do with with what it says. But yeah, Tool Ladies Betting at gmail.com. So yeah, you can go ahead and send me a Starbucks. I would
oh,
love that. And
what
I
a great
appreciate you being an upstanding citizen and,
looks like
being good on your bet.
looks like we're gonna be we might end up betting a bunch of coffees here. I wish I was a
Right?
coffee drinker.
Ramon, they
Wait,
have other things at Starbucks,
oh
I
yeah,
mean,
I don't know.
not
Yeah, pink
not
drink.
like
I might like a pink drink, but I don't know.
I think
Good
you would.
morning.
The unicorn frappuccino, perhaps? That might be more your style. I don't know.
I'm just a soda pop guy. I'm probably gonna. That's probably gonna quit this stuff really eventually. Here, getting old like I am. Look at hey, Ron says Cavs last night getting that job done. I mentioned this, Mindy, when we got Ron's comment up here, and I totally flubbed it on Tony's show yesterday, thinking that game would go over in the Dallas, and it was like a tremendously low scoring game. But get this, Mindy, out of yesterday was arguably the highest scoring day in NBA history. 119.6 total points on
Oh, wow.
average per team. And over the last 1,570 times, days, if you will, that at least 10 games have been played, that is the highest average
No
score.
way.
Maybe everyone should consider this right now when looking at totals a little bit. I don't know if I'm not calling it a trend, but obviously that's kind of weighing into the fact that the time of year, the tempos of play, the personnel, right? So we already are seeing. Remember yesterday I talked about how all these totals, right, were you know right now certainly in the 220s, and I was making fun of that uh, Miami game last week that was 87, 83 or whatever it
Yeah.
was. But these totals, these scores are very, very high right now. And that was no doubt reflective, terrible for an under guy like me yesterday. And of course, one game I said, I thought that the low scoring game would go over, and I looked like a fool there, really. But Blake was probably there and remembers that. So thanks for noticing that. Yeah, I mean, Mindy and I do spend, you know, uh, I'm up here several hours before getting everything ready. Mindy is too. So hello to Neil.
Neil, nice to have you.
Here, ready to go. And Joe was talking. That was where I said, Joe and Louisville gets it done. Hats off to their coach for sticking it through. I don't think they're gonna, be fired him in the middle of the season or anything. The coach said it perfectly. I mean, it wasn't his job to necessarily blame the previous situation, but it's just his job to fix it. So Seaver says, "How about the snow there?" And Rodney came through with the big day. He said as well. Seaver going to be sending some. Mindy, you might be getting more than just a couple of gift cards here.
Right. I'll take them. Like, I usually do the 2 to 3 caffeine coffee drinks per day as well. I'll get my triple shot espresso. I'm not scared.
Beer. I don't mind a good craft beer. I'm not a big time beer drink. I don't know.
Fish and chips and the stout. That's what Ramon likes, I'm sure, right?
No, well, when if I'm really partying, I don't know. My partying days might be over a little bit, but crazily enough, I kind of like a little margarita with Patron in it. I don't mind
Nice.
using a premium tequila in a margarita. I know people might be down on that a little bit, but what else? I mean, I'm not going to take any shots anymore at my age. So I pour a little Patron and maybe even a little touch of cranberry and make a little pink drink like that when I'm
There you
watching
go.
a big game. So, or, whenever I'm really having a good time. So, all right. Great to catch up with everybody here. So got the preview of the day here with NBA. We're going to start with Monday Night Football, NBA, and a couple NCAA, hockey, and then the 3 bowl games. We'll preview tomorrow's 2 bowl games and then the early bowl game on Saturday. When we get to Saturday, we'll talk about those NFL games and that attractive bowl schedule. Plus, there is some hot college basketball on Saturday. And, of course, there'll be a huge NHL and some NBA as well. We'll be busy. Oh, I know, Joe, but, man,
Sometimes,
I don't know.
I'm sure.
As long as you don't mind if I'm sipping. If I can sip, because Patron's a sipping tequila. But I'm not taking any shots anymore.
I'll give you some shots, Ramon, some Polish blackberry brandy, something like that. Right?
Yeah, I'm not old, but I mean, we're doing these shows every day too. I can't afford a headache. So, anyways, yeah, my partying days are long over, I think. I don't know. So great to have everyone here. So yeah, Mindy, just to cover some of the stuff last night, we'll go on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Not much going with our team, unfortunately, and
it was kind of a weird day.
But we do want to go over the website and take a look at everything, see what's going on over at Tony's Picks for today. If anything, I mean, yeah, it is a big a big hockey card, but maybe it's a little bit of a respite for sports gamblers today, getting ready for the bowl season, I would think, and these Saturday NFL games that start rolling out. So let's bring up the whoops. Am I still here? I'm okay. Yeah,
you're here. We see you.
Thought I hit the wrong button there, but take a look at what happened over at Tony'sPicks.com with the team. Daniel had a winner yesterday. Nick 3-2. I went 4-3. Collins above 500, and Pravi still on top of the 7-day leaderboard. Tiffany and Tony getting it done. Consistent winning from Tony. Take a look at the best bet page. Mindy, you got best bets coming up. What do
I
you have going
do.
on?
Yeah. So, so far I haven't been able to, find a, sport yet that I like more than, the 3 games. So I'm looking at 2 games in college basketball, 2 games in the NBA. I have perhaps a little bit more in hockey, but again, I'll update my information here after the show and get those in. Oh, I do like, I guess that NFL game tonight as well.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that certainly because that's where there's some, obviously that's a game you need to talk. That's a game we need to talk about when we preview. I mean, sometimes you can just throw out your pick a little bit, and everybody knows what's going on. But we have so much news in that game. So yesterday, though, on that NBA card, I mean, the big news yesterday. I don't know how long Steph Curry, but it did look like a very discomforting shoulder injury. Apparently, in good spirits following the game. So hopefully just some type of bruise, nothing that's going to keep him out for an extended period of time, if at all. But, he did go down in that game yesterday. Looked a crazy game, really. The Pacers, one of our winners with the team Steam yesterday, Mindy, but it was a bit of a sweat. The Pacers were blowing out the Warriors, but the Warriors, of course, come really all the way back. And then, I think Steph's injury, Dre gets rejected, and the Pacers were still good enough at home to get it done.
Eke it out, yes.
Pacers have some nice, couple of nice players for sure. We know with Mathurin, a good-looking player, and Halliburton. Those 2 players looked really good for them, considering they were playing the Warriors. They're still the Warriors. We make fun of them, and but I think that their struggles on the road were kind of like evident in that game, right? There was nothing wrong with the team early, and they fell behind. They gave up almost like 44 points, 46 points or something like that in the second quarter to, fall massively behind. So, we did get one win there with Team Steam. Hopefully everyone did pretty well. We also had a winner with the Thunder. That was another good game against Miami. So, okay, take a look over at Tony's Picks. Click on the All Cappers tab to find all of our handicappers. And you can click on their profile page, see what they have available in premium picks. We're here to give you a bunch of free picks here in a little bit. I like this hockey card, so interested to see what everybody has to say in the chat. But you can go over to tonyspicks.com, find your favorite capper, and get signed up. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20%. We won't be with you tomorrow. That's when we want you to get our premium picks. Maybe that's why we take the day off. So, all right. Anyways, Mindy, we'll get started a little bit on some of this. I don't know if you had any comments, maybe other on the call. How about UCLA and Maryland? I think that's a bit of a talking point. Considering the blowout for the Bruins. Maybe Maryland's not all that, right? Because they got up to a rocking start. And all of a sudden, maybe they're, not what we thought they were. Or maybe the Bruins might be a pretty decent team.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to be, time will tell with that. Sometimes it's hard, playing out of conference and stuff too, especially early in the season. I think this might be a different game if they're, 10 games in, into conference play, something like that. So, I think there's still a little bit to, I don't think Maryland's going to just, fold here, but I think it was a good jumping off point here for UCLA. So.
Yeah, I was 3-1 yesterday in my premiums in college basketball. Nice. I had winners with Akron laying the points against Wright. I had Duquesne laying the points against DePaul, and I had Radford. They kind of backdoored VCU. I was actually thinking that Radford had a chance maybe to even pull off an upset in that game, but they fell behind late and were down double digits, ended up just getting the money for me in that one. So starting to feel a lot better about college basketball right now, that's been where that's kind of taken me off some of the leaderboards the last couple of weeks, and maybe we've got that straightened out. So yesterday, also that light hockey card, Mindy. You had Ottawa on the show, and I tried to lay a goal and a half. Not the best, but I don't think it was anything to write home about in that hockey. We got plenty of hockey today to talk about. We might want to get started. So get your comments ready, everybody, on those games. I gave you the order of games that we're going to go through, but maybe we can kick it off on Thursday night with Thursday night football. And Mindy, the news certainly with this game is the 49ers quarterback situation. But to me, it's a little bit peculiar because we talk about they're favored in the game. Certainly, they are the 49ers, right? And they have that great defense. So that maybe they're the deserving favorite. But you have Brock Purdy, which we really didn't think maybe he was hurt or questionable, but we did see all week that he had been battling an injury. So, coming into this game, he will be questionable. And here's the thing. People are saying, well, you know what, if they rule him out and Josh Johnson is announced as the starting quarterback, that this line could move maybe a point, maybe two, maybe even to a pick 'em. But Brock Purdy's only played a couple of games. Look, we love Brock Purdy right now. I mean, I said even before his first, game that I thought he was a decent replacement. After I'm talking about when he came in as a sub, and then I said, no, don't worry about this. Brock Purdy might be pretty good, but Josh Johnson has a ton of NFL experience. I mean, when you're talking about the 49ers, maybe it's not so much, yes, you want to have a better maybe somebody better than all of these four quarterbacks, right? We've kind of through the Jimmy G situation, the Trey Lance situation, then through Brock Purdy and Josh. It almost doesn't matter, it seems. So would the line really change for you personally if Josh Johnson was the quarterback over Brock Purdy?
I don't think it's going to matter here at all, Ramon. I don't think it matters. All that quarterback is going to have to do is hand the ball off to, you could pick McCaffrey perhaps to run the ball.
And he was on the injury list, but he looked like he's going to play. I mean,
right. You can pick an Ayuk to run the ball, jet sweep. All you got to do is run the ball against the Seahawks defense. They're terrible. I think I would take Josh Johnson over someone like Sam Darnold personally. Maybe Darnold is maybe getting in his stuff together a little bit, but I don't really see him as being this, huge game manager that's going to go ahead and win me a lot of games. And if I take a look at that Seahawks defense that just, is allowing well over 25 points a game here. They're ranked 30th now. Really not doing too much on offense now that they're, without, a couple starting running backs themselves. I mean, Geno's playing fine, but again, all you got to do is put pressure on him. And that this 49ers defense is going to do that. I just think here we're going to be able to hand the ball off. And I think we're going to score a lot of touchdowns here. I kind of think that Purdy still is going to play. And I like what he had to say, after the game. He's like, I knew that this Tom Brady guy was going to keep coming after me. And all I wanted to do was keep scoring, points here. I'm going to take a look at the over, though, in this one. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored. I think the 49ers are just going to keep pounding it. They're not going to give up. I think they might turn the ball over here a couple times today, perhaps even a defensive score. I think there's going to be something weird like that happening. And I think the Seahawks, when they do go to the pass game, they got a couple of weapons. I definitely think that this one's going to go over the total here today. And that's going to be my free pick. I'm going to go over this 43. I definitely think that they can each probably put up a touchdown every quarter. That's kind of how I'm looking at this one.
Well, Seattle, they found another running back who's doing a pretty good job. The 49ers, they are a Super Bowl contender. The Seahawks aren't. The Niners are on this strong run. And Seattle Seaver says he might go Seahawks as well. And I think that's the way I'll end up going here. I don't want to go against the Niners necessarily, but I like Purdy, but I just think let's take a look. Rodney's got a prop for us to take a look at. Lock it anytime touchdown. Ron says nothing, 49ers or nothing. So it doesn't sound like he's committed necessarily to playing the 49ers here. But Rodney said, he's scored Lockett scored touchdown in 6 straight games. And 49ers, if they do have a weakness, it's a little bit against the wide receivers. And yeah, McCaffrey, he can definitely get it done on the ground. He's on the injured list. So.
True. They kind of all are, yeah.
Yeah. And so, look, Seattle's defense has certain weaknesses, I think. But I think the key here is taking the 3 points now. And if we do see Josh Johnson, again, when I see injuries like this where, it's kind of crept up a little bit, as not talking about the spread, I'm talking about the injury news, right? Because we really didn't know at the end that Purdy was having a problem or anything like that. So division game at home, you got the 12s still. Still Seattle has hope alive, right? So they'll be, let's see, Joe says, okay. Yeah, the back looks good. But again, the thing with the Seahawks, right? It seems like they always are kind of a plug and play with these running backs for years, from different guys. Remember, even when guys like Penny and Dallas, and they would just bring a guy in there and be able to run the ball. So I think there's still a lot to be said for the way Pete Carroll can work a team. He's still probably one of the best coaches in the league. Everybody gives him a hard time and everything, right? But look, he's the guy that said, "See ya, Russell. Let's just bring, right? Let's bring in this." And they, not that Russell, we make fun of Russell now, but maybe Russell's time was just over, right? And that may be why we see Russell not doing what he used to be able to do. So, Seattle makes your moves. If anything, right? When players you're supposed to get rid of players, right? Technically, when they probably just start to lose it. If you think about, if you're a real good GM, you really should do that. But you get, contracts, and you get tied into guys, and you have, guys who have been in the organization. You don't get rid of them and stuff like that. But that was probably a good move looking back on it. Would Russell be any better now? So Ron says he loves Walker when he was.
Yeah, I think he should have won the Heisman. Yeah, for sure.
So don't forget about Kittle, right? And we talk about every week. We haven't even mentioned him in this preview about our man Debo and the injury, but Ayuk is like he's not quite Debo, but certainly moves like him a little bit, right? And so. No, I don't. Yeah, hey, Verley's here. We haven't seen him in a while, I don't think, but we know he's been around probably. So Latifah says she's going to live bet this game. Could be some back and forth action. And nothing I love more than a game where maybe I don't have action and just start playing every time if the Niners score, take the Seahawks. When the Seahawks score, take the Niners in a close game. I love having a game like that where I end up with like a bunch of bets with plus points where you can just take 1.5 points here, 2 points there. And if you get a tight game, you can squeak
it in. Each of them. All right. All of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. But since we're on the show here, and I'm going to take Seattle. And like I said, I imagine that if Johnson is named the starter, but we won't know. But I don't think we might not find out until very close to game time if there's a change here. My gut feel is that Purdy is going to be in the game. So I'll take Seattle. Mindy's going to take the over in this one on Thursday Night Football. Great comments here. I don't think we have necessarily even a consensus in the chat. And decent game.
Could be a good one.
Not an ugly game. Always going to give Seattle a chance unless they're absolutely terrible. Here comes it looks like a teaser from Daniel. So Ron wants to make a friendly wager. I don't know what I could bet with you guys. as far as these apps are concerned. So we'll work on that a little bit. And I don't know if I would because I don't necessarily feel great about the side with Seattle. Because I think the Niners are still the type of team that even with you know a limited offense with I don't want to say limited. I mean, we thought Purdy, but again, he's played 3 games, right? I mean, how good can he be, right? I mean, if he wasn't there, or if he had a mediocre game, we'd be like, well, the Niners are toast. And it's funny because,
Right.
right? So when Jimmy G goes down, we're like, well, first, Jimmy G goes down. We're like, well, there goes the Niners. That was their chance. I mean, even though nobody likes Jimmy's half the time, there we go. But the Niners, their coaching obviously is pretty elite, so they were able to make do. And all of a sudden, Purdy. And I just feel bad that maybe you can adopt the Mr. Irrelevant tag for him because that's what they always call the last player, and you never really hear much about him. But when a quarterback is Mr. Irrelevant and he comes out and starts to play well, then all of a sudden that narrative comes to the forefront. But Mr. Irrelevant used to be a guy that was drafted in like the 12th round. And now that the draft is just 7 rounds, the quality of player is going to be a little bit better with Mr. Irrelevant. But again, if Brock Purdy ever goes on to be something, something special, or even a full-time starter, he'll never be able to shake the Mr. Irrelevant tag, which, hey, it's just, that, you'll take that tag.
I'm pretty sure he won't mind having those dollar bills in his pocket.
Yeah, he'll be, you don't mind
I'll
having
be calling
that.
Mr. Irrelevant for Mills. It doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. And again, it's a funny thing. It probably is funny already to him. But again, it used to be kind of an insult in a way. But again, the draft has been shortened over the years. So we've got a few more bets here coming in, Mindy, from the crew. Orlando's with you on the full game over, maybe even a sprinkle on the money line. Seattle rush defense, terrible. And agree, but I think you get a little bit different look at home. Again, for a guy like Purdy, the crowd isn't, it's not like we were teasing about the Louisville crowd yesterday and we made fun of that basketball game, but, Western Kentucky brought a ton of fans in there. Seattle, it's still Seattle. And for a guy like Brock Purdy, who's, played in some nice football games at Purdue, but it's a different element playing in Seattle, certainly. So there's that factor. But the Niners, other than the fact that they don't have a guy like Dak, they don't have a guy like Hurts, they're still up there with those teams because of the defense. Adding McCaffrey, they're right in the mix with those. I believe with those teams in the NFC. Mindy, it'd be tough to go, into Philadelphia and win a game with a guy like a Brock Purdy or Jimmy G or whatever. But you want defense when you're heading into the postseason, no doubt about it. So Daniel says Kittle anytime TD. So watch out for Kittle. He's one we really haven't really talked about as much. So Fonzie's on the Niners. Dave says cold and rainy.
Every single day it's cold and rainy in Seattle, isn't it?
Typical day. Latifa says definitely an under game. She's against most of you guys. And let me just say, I don't want to tip my hand a little bit, but Latifa.
Mindy Ramone challenge.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to, give too much because probably going to, you know what I'm talking about over on the site. So I like I said,
challenging.
Well, because Seattle's going to want to run. You might be limited with San Francisco. The quarterback San Francisco has a great defense. I appreciate what you're saying, certainly about the over. It's a attackable number, but man, NFC West, I really was expecting it even a little bit lower. So, all right, and Latifa says she's going to be watching Beauty and the Beast during the game. I was trying, I see the Josh Groban commercials, and I thought when I first saw him, I thought it was a commercial at first for like but I guess it was a real show. So, I mean, we know the story of Beauty and the Beast. I kid you, but Verley's going to be teasing the Niners, probably leaving an open teaser and tying it in with something else maybe this weekend. So looks like me and Latifah against everybody, but on the side, I'll be Seattle. Mindy's on the over. That's a look at Thursday night football. Unless you guys got anything else, we're going to
Good
move
breakdown. It's going to be
Yeah.
a fun one to watch. I can't wait.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think it's still a good game, division game. That's another factor where, my other opinion on the total comes into play. So, all right, you guys, going to get into a little bit of NBA basketball now. Might as well start with, I think, the best game. Although, I think 2 or 3 of the games are pretty decent. So, see if we get.
We'll see. We'll know tomorrow if they're decent.
Well, I don't know. I think this one's very, very decent, especially considering this is our first game of the 4, the Bucks and the Grizzlies, Mindy. In this one, let me call up the latest line. This was about 2.5 or 3 hours ago, but not too much movement here. Just a tick down to 226.5. But I will say that this one did open as high as 229. In this one, you have Ja Morant. He's back in the lineup, certainly here. And Holiday is out. He's sick.
All right. Well, I mean, the Grizzlies now have won 6 in a row, putting up a 121 per game over their last 3. Bucks 2-1, scoring 108 per game in the last 3 here. Grizzlies are 3-1 against the spread versus these Bucks. Over the last 3 seasons. I'm going to take the Grizzlies today at home. I'll be, a Tennessee fan, right?
I'm on with you, Miss Hahn. I like the Grizzlies here, laying the points. Yeah, sure. I mean, we know Milwaukee's a top team, certainly. Probably contend for the title, but Memphis, one of the hottest teams around, probably one of the best teams I would think in the West right now. They're 12-2 straight up at home. They can beat anybody at home, even the Milwaukee Bucks. They're also 10-3-1 against the spread in those 14 games. Memphis has been downright impressive. I can appreciate you guys staying on the Bucks here. Middleton's back too, so maybe he's played a couple games since he's come back, but we maybe haven't got the full scope of how he kind of is going to continue to impact the lineup, being back in there a little bit. So Daniel says Houston beat the Bucks, but also don't forget, we'll talk about Houston next, but Houston's actually a winning team at home, which is kind of a surprise maybe to some. But so Latifah's on Memphis with us. It looks like Ron is going to be on the Bucks. So it looks like we're not
quite consensus,
but I think we're going to overrule them a little bit, Mindy. And we're going to go with
only because we produce the show, Ramon. That's the only reason why, right?
Yeah, and somebody, let me go back. I think I might have. Did I miss Curtis's pick here?
Yeah.
With the over? Yeah, let me make sure. Don't want to forget about Curtis, but he does say the over, and with this total going down, with what I talked about with the totals, right? When I see a move like this, I kind of want to respect the under a little bit, especially with Milwaukee. Listen, they're 1-10 to the under on the road, but the reported steam came in early on the over, and the way these totals are going, I kind of want to think that it could go over as well. I'm not totally sold on it, but I think that's the way I actually would lean. But hard to buck the trend of 1-10 to the under on Milwaukee on the road, I would think. But we know Memphis, I mean, they do play some pretty high scoring games, but Ron says I think he says he doesn't necessarily mind that trend a little bit here because Bucks do play some decent defense. So all right, and Thurman, this might be a parlay from Thurman, so let me flash it up there, and then we'll get that'll be our segue right into the next
right.
game. So the Heat and the Rockets here, we do have injury concerns with the Heat coming off of, I think Bam is probably going to be missing this game. I think they ruled him, if I'm not mistaken, Mindy, right after the game that he could miss. This total has dropped. It's still 4, but the total has dropped here all the way from a high of 223.5, and now it's 218.5.
Goodness,
Pretty
okay.
big
Yeah.
move. And like I said, Rockets, they have a winning record at home, folks. It's time we maybe stop making a little bit of fun at their expense.
You mean because the Rockets are 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 at home here as well. Each of these, two have won, their last 2 now. Rockets 104 a game. Heat, we know they ain't scoring 98 points a game. I'm going to take to the Rockets here today.
I'm going to agree with you. I think in this one, Mindy, Miami 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games. There was another injury I thought that other than Bam as well that was reported immediately after the game, which, on the back-to-back here, Miami just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games. Houston is 7-3-1 against the spread at home. Miami 4-10 to the under on the road. So, that kind of shows that I think we talk about the defense a little bit there. So I'm going to agree. We're going to have 2 consensus plays here. I'm going to take Houston here against the Heat. Again, I think there will be the back-to-back, a little bit of injury concerns. Heat will probably be missing 1 or 2 key players in the game, and I'll take the Rockets here with Mindy. Verley also says he'll have to roll the Rockets. They're playing pretty good ball. Fonzie says take the under. I'd say get it now, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. Hero hit the big shot yesterday, and that was one where I did have I actually had the under in that game. That was one of
Me
those.
too, Ramon. Me too.
Yep, that was a premium for me yesterday. And of course, we had the OKC on the show. So we actually might be okay because kind of when you're rolling with some teams that you're winning with, maybe a little bit more or have a better feel. So let's hope we're right here on this one. I'm not going to, still doubt that the Heat. I'm a big fan of their coach. I think that's one of the reasons why. Yeah, Butler's a great player. They've had some good talent, but I think he's a pretty darn good coach that is often overlooked. So I don't put it past the Heat that they could find a way. But like what the Rockets are doing, I'm happy for them as well. And let's take the Rockets. We're 2 for 2 here. I think we got enough support in the chat there. I don't think anybody said the Heat, did they?
I don't think so. I saw a little bit of difference on the over and under, but other than that, I think we're good, Ramon. I think we got it.
Yeah, and I think that total could continue to drop. But not too much because it's already dropped 5 points.
All right.
Reported steam did come in on the over, by the way, but that was just very early because it's obviously moving the other direction now. All right, New Orleans is going to go in here and take on the Utah Jazz. We know Ingram is still going to be out right now for the time being for New Orleans. And I'm showing in this one that the Jazz are down to the Pelicans they opened 2. It's now down to 1. And the total is 232.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams are ranked, tied at 3rd in scoring in the NBA, 117. Pelicans allowed now 122 points a game over their last 2. Jazz have put up, 121 in their last 2. I'm going to take a look at the over here. It's 4-1 in the last 5 home games here for the Jazz. I'm going to take, over that 232 today.
Okay, and yeah, I mean, why not? All these games continue to just go crazy, right? Latifah is going to be joining you here, it looks like, on the over. We'll mention New Orleans is 8-4 to the over on the road. The widely reported steam did come in on the under, but who's going to trust an under at this point, even though like I said, we hit that other one, but I stunk it up with that Dallas total. So Verley says go over. Looks like you guys all want to go over in this one. The move has been to the under. Like I said, the widely reported Steam came under, and it opened 233, now down to 232. Actually touched 231.5 and was bought back up. But for me, I'm probably going to take Utah on this one. They are 10-5 straight up at home. Utah 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 meetings against the Pelicans. Now we know this Pelicans team a little bit better than those previous versions a little bit, but Utah, I think they don't get quite the respect they still deserve to play at home. My play is going to be on Utah. Mindy's going to take the over in this one, and looks like you guys are all on the over.
I got some
there.
consensus with my chat group today. Thanks, Team Steam.
Yep, for sure. All right, one more in the NBA to look at.
All right.
And be the Suns and the Clippers. And this one, and this is the one where, we come on, Mindy, and make all the picks and everything. And, you don't know where injuries are going to go and all that. But we're here to make picks, and right or wrong, you can hold us to it. We don't care. We make a ton of free picks here on the show. Our premium picks are really where we hang our hat and try to make our money. But injury concerns are massive in this game, especially considering the Clippers playing a back-to-back. So will we see PG? Will we see Kawhi in the game, right? We know that Wall is questionable for the Clippers. DeAndre Ayton left the game. Now, he's kind of a tough player that, maybe he's got the whiny face, but he plays every game pretty much. Same with Devin Booker. He's a guy who plays too, but he's also questionable, and he's so important. So Phoenix has concerns with injuries. Clippers have concerns with injuries. Clippers are down to 1.5, and this total has dropped to 217.5.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's going to be a good one. I'm excited to see how this one will play out, right? The Clippers have been, I don't know, a roller coaster ride here over the last couple of weeks. Suns here average 115 a game. They're ninth in the NBA. Clippers 108. That puts them at 29th in scoring. But I have this, I always have this Suns team that, they shoot better from the floor, from the free throw line, from the 3-point range. I mean, they're also 4-1 against the spread the last 5 here in LA. I got to take the Suns.
All right, Mindy, we'll still roll with the Suns.
I'm still doing it.
Yeah, well, it's funny because we talked about all the high scoring, but that Clippers game was actually a ridiculously low scoring game yesterday for the most part throughout the whole game, right? So looks like we had a lot of comments on this.
I know there's folks that are not looking like they like the Suns here today. Darn it.
Right. But again, I mean, when we talk about it, I don't want to say that, that Kawhi and George, and it looks like George has kind of worked his way back into shape that he's playing a little bit more. And we've seen more of Kawhi over the last few games than we have. He's definitely missing fewer games over the last week or two, right? So maybe, and kind of what I think we're seeing is kind of what I mentioned. I thought yesterday on the show a little bit that once we're getting towards Christmas, where a lot of people say, kind of like with gambling, right?
Start the season.
Right, kind of like with gambling, right? We say, oh, don't bet the NBA until Christmas or the New Year. Well, the players, kind of want to pace themselves a little bit for these long 82-game seasons. So I think we might see that more reflective in the future of other younger players might play earlier in the season, and then veterans take some time off.
Business.
Yeah, and then play more games towards the second half of the season or after the new year when it's time to at least try to get into the position. I talked about yesterday, all you need to do is win one game in the playoffs to get that home court advantage. But you certainly would like to finish, at least in the top 4 if you can. Those top teams that battle for that. Some have no choice, just trying to get in the playoffs. So let's look at some of these comments where Joe says, that's why I mentioned it, because Clippers, while they're healthy, he says, I think he likes them. But again, and there's been no indication that, Kawhi and PG would take the next game off. I have to mention it because it is a back to back, and does seem like when we find the news, it's like a stunner, a little not a stunner because we're somewhat
Right.
expected, but then all of a sudden, oh, these guys are out again. So maybe this one is with a little bit of reservation. I would think if we end up, making the pick or wanting our pick to be good here. So Curtis says Clippers over. Rodney says he'll. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong game there. Sorry about that. Um, don't mean to cut your playoff. We try to keep these. Um, let's see here. I'm kind of just lost my spot. Sorry, Mindy. Here we go.
That's all right. Lots of comments, so that's good. So
Yeah.
keep them coming.
Chris Paul came back, and the Suns haven't been the same. You wonder, if Father Time has kind of passed Chris Paul by a little bit, or I don't know. You'd think that he still can be a game-changing player, but he's certainly an aging veteran. Clippers money line and the under. Terrell's making fun of my comments about Aiton. Rodney says a revenge spot here for the Clips. Suns needed together and can't. Terrell says right now can't trust the Suns. He's also leaning to the under here. Too many players questionable. I think so too. And Dave says that it'll come down to whether those guys play. So even he has questions, and I don't want to, just bring it up because I haven't seen any discussion. It's just a gut feel,
Right.
with those guys on the back to back, and maybe we're past that point where because usually we've known in advance a little bit when they aren't going to play as well. I say sometimes we get the late stunning news, but sometimes we know they're not going to. But there's been no indication of that here, but certainly we know, like I said, Ayton questionable, Booker questionable, and those are definitely issues moving forward. So Kawhi, he definitely is the one where I would think PG more of a chance to play. Kawhi, he usually needs a game to go to the taco shop. So Suns need a win here, says Daniel. So I guess I've got to come up with a play here. Mindy says she likes Phoenix in this one. I really want to use my pass card here.
Right. I don't blame you, really.
All right, let me just see here. The Suns are 0-5 against the spread in their last 5. The Clippers are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4. They're at home here. I'm going to take the Clippers in this one. I'm going to go against Mindy.
Challenge, Ramon.
Oh, see, I knew you were going to make it a challenge.
Yeah. No, it always. So I'm a little bit older, but yeah, if you watch Cosby Show growing up, right? There's this one episode with Cliff. He does tap dancing with there's a guy at some studio where they're having like Rudy take tap lessons. And so they do all of these, fun moves. And then Cliff comes in and, tries to pretend like he's good at tap dancing. And every time the professional gets done, he's like, challenge. And so we always say that between me and my siblings. So that's kind of where that's from. If everyone can remember the Cosby Show, on the way back before, we don't know what happened to Bill Cosby, but we won't talk about that.
Of course. Well, we always did the challenge when the playing Dungeons and Dragons. That's how old I am. So KG says, should Kawhi just retire? No, I don't think so. Look at how he performed just the other night, hitting all the shots that he did. He's a guy you want on your team right now in the postseason. And like I said, I think you've seen the changes in his body structure. I make fun of the taco shop, but
you do.
But again, it looks like he's put on weight. He got knee problems. Still could hit his shot. He's a guy you'd want on your roster. You'd want in the game. Still, at this point, better than most of the players in the league. But just a little bit flaky with all this. So. Hey, Rapper Capper! Oh my gosh, Rapper Capper. That is, do you have a YouTube channel, Rapper Capper? Because I think that might be the next.
Great YouTube channel.
Well, you could rap your play.
Oh my goodness.
You could rap your plays.
That is true. That sounds like a lot of work. That's a lot of songwriting right there.
Well, unless you're a freestyler like me.
Well, that's true, right? I mean, I would, I'm like a total, what do you want to say? Not creative. That would be me.
It's good to
I think they
have your
call that
rapper
right
capper. I
brain.
like that. It looks like a Michigan hat. He's got the rapper pose. Really appreciate him stopping in. Don't know if you've been here before or watched us. We appreciate your comments. That's awesome to have you. And Terrell Riley's got another comment there as well. So yeah, and Clippers. I mean, look, they still feel like they have a team that is a championship contending team. They've spent the money to be here. I'd be really disappointed if I was a billionaire owner like they have, and I can't. The guys won't play, especially when I'm there. I'm there every day cheering like a maniac, like he does.
See, you got Rapper Capper to comment with the Dungeons and Dragons. So there you go, Ramon. See, got some likability.
Yeah, this is 1972, but I'm talking 1985 at least. All right, let's look at the NBA tonight. Short card, but we'll be back on Saturday probably with a pretty attractive card as well. Of course, we're dark on Fridays. Don't forget, folks. So, okay, gonna get in now to a few college games. We found a few games doing it nice.
That's Capper alive.
I want to see that rapper. I mean, do you rap the plays? Or do you rap? I kind of want to do that because I'm an old
easy freestyle rap makes me funny. That's probably true. That's what.
If you have a YouTube channel, I will come on there and write some raps because I can still. I'm so old. I can still sing "Rapper's Delight." If anybody wants to hear that, let me know. That's how old. I don't know any of the new fangled songs, but I did like that. When Eminem a few weeks ago was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he did "Stand" with. That was awesome. I love that.
See it.
Okay.
But "Stand," what? REM? What?
Well, he had what's that singer's name? You guys help me out. You guys saw it. I'm sure Rapper Capper saw it. Can't think of it right now because I'm doing this show. But Rapper Capper says born in 72. Okay, well, yeah,
75. You're right about there, Ramon. Right?
Well, in the 60s. You're not 60 years old. I might look 60. I was born in 68.
There you go.
So not the best year.
72, 75.
1968, some people refer to that as like one of the worst years in the.
Well, it kind of was. I mean, if you look at it historically.
No, that's what I mean.
Yes.
Okay, let's just take a look at a few of these college games here today. It's not a great schedule. We almost tanked it because Mindy was going to come in with a bunch of. She was going to come preview yesterday's games all over again.
Man, yeah. Can we start them again? Looks like Jose. He's like, I want to redo yesterday as well. There we go. Let's go.
Okay, let's call these up and see what we have here with some of these games with Lehigh and Wisconsin. Wisconsin is favored in this one now. I love all the comments, man. Okay, Wisconsin's favored now here by 22.5, and the total is 133.
Yeah, I almost had like a small heart attack because I was like, Miami, UAB, UTSA, Troy, Cincinnati, Lewis. I'm like, where's Miami, Wisconsin pick? Oh, wait, wrong sheet. Never mind. All right, here. So we got Wisconsin, averaging 67.3 points per game. Puts them at 300th in the NCAA. Lehigh, 71, ranking them 210. So Lehigh here bringing the heat this season. I think it is a step up and an opponent here, for Lehigh, of course. But again, I don't know, Wisconsin, they got to be able to go and really put these teams away. Not so sure they can do it. I'm going to take Lehigh. I'm going to take the underdog. I'm going to take them at plus 22.5 here today.
All right. Mindy's going to take Lehigh here against Wisconsin. Wisconsin's been getting numbers, no doubt about it. I mean, this is a pretty big number, obviously, going up against the Mountain Hawks. But Wisconsin 8-2 against the spread already this year. Lehigh just 2-5 against the number. I mean, Wisconsin can probably name the score here. It's going to be a tough maybe to achieve it, however, and I just wonder if Lehigh can get enough points. I mean, Wisconsin can, Ed Sheeran, right? Latifa, that's what it was. Thank you, Latifa. Right. So the part, and I'm going to get off of the train here. We're going to preview these games, but so Eminem sings his part, and then Ed Sheeran sings I can't read it all. That part of the song in Stan. You don't even know what I'm talking about. I think many of you don't know Stan, but you guys know. How would I do? I'd sing it, but I don't want to embarrass myself. You guys have the tone there. You know the tune, you guys. Some out there with Stan. But then also Steven Tyler was on there. So it was Ed Sheeran, Eminem, and Steven Tyler singing Stan. And it was, just check it out on YouTube. It was
All
cool.
right. That's what I'll have to do. I'll have to do that.
If you're an Eminem, I'm an Eminem fan. I'm a old rap fan. So I'm gonna go under in this game, Mindy. I think you'll see a really could be almost a bizarre score. I don't want to say it was for me a near premium. I wasn't necessarily sure, but man, this one to me it almost feels like it could be a weird 55-38 almost, it feels like to me, when you get some of these games with Wisconsin a big favorite like this. I know 133 would tend to lend itself more to 70 to 75-55 or something like that, but I don't think Wisconsin can maybe even get that, the way sometimes they can play, especially against teams where they can get down defensively. They bring a bad team in here and pummel them a little bit. So I'll go under. Yeah, it may come close to the number. And so maybe, how's that score sound, everybody? 70-50. That's what I'll just give a
Sounds good to me.
Predicted score here. So Latifa says she's okay.
Yeah, so Rapper Capper said you must have blocked him, huh? So Rapper Capper needs to be nice because, Ramon doesn't block someone unless they do something pretty naughty in the chat.
Know.
So,
I mean, like we've only blocked 2 people, so I think maybe, I don't know.
So just saying, future reference, Rapper Capper, be nice to the chat, please.
Oh, no, Rapper Capper's cool.
Well, he said you blocked him before, so, I'm like, yeah, I'm saying if you blocked him, it was probably warranted. So just saying.
No, I don't think. I think it must be a different. I don't know. I don't feel like I don't remember that name, or if it was a different name. But
he said he had to make a new name so he could come back and join us.
Okay. Well, maybe we had a crummy pick, but I usually don't. I don't love the comments that people are saying. Yeah, Rapper Capper likes Eminem. I even have my own song that I sing to the Slim Shady theme, but I'm not going to sing it here unless anybody wants me to.
Right. We want you to,
right? Here, Mindy, you're on the
Sean is here. That's nice. Hey, Sean's one of our other.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
we should.
Tony, yeah, so it's nice that he came in to check us out. No, it's good to see you, Sean. Glad you're doing well.
Well, I'll send you the link right now, Sean. If you want to come on here, I'll tell you that. I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat if you want. We'll bring you on right now if you want. It's great to have you back with the team. Glad you're feeling well and up for the show and everything. Up for the getting back with the group. Really appreciate you. So, all right, let's take a look at another one. Talk about Slim Shady. How about Slim Pickens? North Alabama and Colorado, Mindy, in this one. And I'm showing the buffs here, obviously, another huge favorite. In this one, Colorado's up to 22.5, total 147.5.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like I got to go ahead and, take this underdog here again. I mean, it's just because these point spreads are pretty huge. And there hasn't been a lot of these plus 25, plus 22s that are really been covered a lot this season. I'm going to take North Alabama. I mean, Colorado averages 73 points a game. Alabama's, North Alabama 78. I know that Colorado's been a little bit inconsistent. That's kind of some of the reason why I'm going to take North Alabama here in those big points.
All right, Mindy's going to be on North Alabama against the Buffs. Mindy, they're not playing the football team here, okay? I mean, come on, this is a
I know.
pretty good Colorado team, but they're not covering spreads, certainly. They're 2-6 as a favorite so far, so that's not really that promising. North Alabama doesn't apparently play much defense, that's for sure. And look at that total, just continues to go up. I think Colorado could end up putting up a big number here. I'm going to end up going with the over in this one as my free play. North Alabama so far 6-1 to the over away from home. Colorado just 3-5 to the is 3-5 to the under as a favorite. But again, we got a game that, again, name your score type of game. It looks like Latifa wants to lay the points here with Colorado. So there is a little challenge for Latifa. Right. There a little bit. So, Sean, thanks a lot. Man, we wanted to get together with you and do something with you on the air. I'm working on a night show, Sean. Be ready for that. I hope you want to join me. I need cappers before I get started, but we're looking to do a little something at night, not on the terms of Mindy and I certainly and Team Steam, but something where we can kind of preview the games and the line moves. Remember, we try to show Mindy with opening lines, and we're going to try to do at least a half an hour the night before. So keep that in mind, Sean, if you can get some time for me and you're back to feeling healthy enough and strong enough to do some shows, please keep that in mind. I want to send that out to you and just thank you so much. And please, your comments. How about some plays, Sean? How about some plays right now from you in the chat?
The king of totals.
That's right. So please, Sean, give us some
Ramon said the over. Do you agree? Come on now.
Well, give us some help. Mindy, we weren't too sharp yesterday. So, and Latifa says over in this one. Yeah, look at that total, and it's already moved up. So, I like the over here. I think Colorado, unlike a Wisconsin team, where I think Colorado will be able to put up some points here. So, all right, one more game we've picked out, and this one's actually probably might be one of the better games. I think this might be the good matchup. Well, Irvine and Santa Clara is pretty good, but we try to, maybe also make sure we can watch the games on TV and stuff like that. So, Sean did say he liked the over in that North Alabama Colorado game. How about Seattle and Oregon State, Mindy? In this one, I'm showing it right now. In this one, Seattle has taken the steam this morning. They're up to a 1.5 point favorite. The total is 136.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle has this amazing 3-point shooting shooters. I mean, they can really shoot it from downtown. They have this huge advantage with the 3 in this game. Seattle's putting up 82 points a game. They're 25th in the NCAA here. I'm going to go ahead and take Seattle here in this one. I like a little bit of a I don't know if I guess it's gone back down again. I was going to say maybe a little bit of a upset here, which it has. So it was a pick. Now it's I'll take Seattle plus 1.5.
Yeah, Mindy, this was probably going to make my premium card if you didn't get on it with me here. But let's go ahead and make it a consensus play with Seattle in this one. They just beat North Dakota. They're 7-1. They're looking really good so far, right? And Oregon State has not been good at all, right? I mean, if anything, we might just be looking at, the name here that kind of keeps the spread here, I would think, as far as, close to a pick 'em or something like that. But, the Beavers had a good start, but doesn't look very good right now. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to do much of anything in Seattle. They're a great sleeper team, the Redhawks. Again, I mean, they had good scoring last year, but, Tyson is just a dynamic player. So I would think that Seattle's probably a pretty good team this season. I'm going to definitely be rolling with Seattle, I would think, in this one. Uh, 41% 3-point shooter. So I would think Seattle's the best team here and a pretty good play today. Let's take them.
All
I don't
right.
know if the spread will go up much more. And in fact, I'm sorry I have the graphic there actually wrong just because I switched it because let me at least give myself a chance to get the right graphic up there. I imagine I had it up there too long for the thumbnail to be right, but that's the
Okay.
correct spread right there. Yeah, Seattle's the favorite. The Seattle's is a deserving favorite in this one, or they're not really necessarily covering numbers, but that's because they played some other opposition that where they've been favored. They are 4-0 straight up as a favorite, but they've definitely had trouble covering a few lines, but here you're just looking at them to win the game. Oregon State's 4-1 at home. No slight on them, but I just feel like Seattle's the better team in this one. And all right, and I think we had real quick. Let's just wrap it up with Seaver had a parlay here, I believe,
Yep.
today, right? With middle against Chattanooga. Seaver totally on board with you with middle laying the points here against Chattanooga. And he also likes Louisiana laying double digits on the road against McNeese, I believe. And he also likes Southeast Louisiana getting the points from Nichols, 8 points. So, all right. And yeah. And maybe we're done with the previews. We got Rapper Cap with a little more comments here. And okay. All right. Everybody's waiting for hockey, Mindy, because it's a huge, huge card here in this one. Get ready, Latifa. Get ready, everybody, and let's run it down with this big, big card on a Thursday. If anything, I like the hockey card today. So let's start to get into it. We'll start off here with the Flyers going up against the Devils. Another huge, huge price. We're going to see a few of them here on this card, but in this one, I'm currently showing that the Devils are favored. Let's see if there's been any movement because I showed this one opening as low as 240, but now it's up to 280. And mentioned this total of 6. And it is 6 flat, but today on the card, I'm showing as many as 7 games with a total of 6.
Right.
Another 5 or 6.5. So, do you feel, Mindy? It looks like league wide the totals are dropping a little bit, ever so slightly from some of the higher numbers early in the season. Now, it could be a product of these matchups and this card, but it was just so stunning to see so many flat 6s that it just feels like as we work into the season here that maybe the teams are playing a little tougher defensively, getting a little more serious here as we go along, that maybe we'll start to see some dare I say, lower scoring games?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you kind of just look through, right, if you just kind of just at a glance take a look and see where teams have gone over the last 4 or 5 games, you can see multiple games with zeros. You don't see too many goose eggs normally, but I saw a lot of those in there. And so I think that is, going to be a reason for a little bit of the tick too. So that's either really good goal play or really good defense starting to, step up here as well. But with this one here, the Flyers, Devils, I'm going to take the Flyers here on the puck line today. They are 9-6 on the road. Devils are 7-9 at home. I kind of have this one as a Devils 3, Flyers 2 sort of game, but it's one of those I don't really want to lay a 280 spot here on this. And I don't really like them on the puck line. I do prefer the Flyers. So that's where I'm going to head today.
We'll try them again, Mindy. Why not? I mean, I think we've done well with the Flyers. As much as I want to, go against them a lot of times in other situations where it's kind of a closer matchup with them. But they're still 17-9 as a puck line dog, and here we are getting them at probably minus $1.10 or somewhere around there at plus 1.5. Sure. I mean, the Devils are awesome, right? They're just terrific. But the Flyers do have a tendency to, maybe stay in games. Orlando says I think he's predicting kind of a blowout here in this one. I get it. Philadelphia 9-16-1 though as a dog, so maybe they can limit them a little bit and stay within that goal. And I want to go with you, Mindy, on this one. Going against Orlando, kind of looks like here. I'll take the Flyers with you, plus the 1.5 against the Devils today. Again, more kind of a value play too, because like I said, Devils opened as low as 240. That didn't last long. That might have not even been available to most. But still at 280 here, I always want to take. We made fun of the $5 favorite, but this isn't $5.
Right.
Let's take the Flyers here in this one. On the puck line. All right, Dallas and Washington here, and I'm showing this one pretty much a pick 'em. Maybe you'll find Dallas a slight favorite at a few spots, but if they are, it's just by a nickel or so. And the total here is pretty much a flat 6. I do see a couple of 6 overs, but those, again, same thing, just by maybe a nickel or so. So this one's pretty solid at a pick and 6.
Yeah, and like I said, I've been kind of a Stars, fan here. I think I think they have a good shot at taking the Central here this season. They're 6-1 versus the Capitals on the road over the last 7 games here. I'm going to take the Stars. Yeah, I had them at like -13, something like that. So that's how I'm heading today.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I Stars are probably going to be a premium for me if you didn't get on them here. So I think that's where I want to go as well. Stars, how about this, Mini? Stars 9-1 last 10 at Washington. So they haven't had any problem. And, I mean, these teams it hasn't been, like one team was more dominant than the other. These two teams have been just, I think, decent for, several years. And that's a series that, that's a 10-year sample size. Right. I mean, again, right. These teams haven't been anything overwhelming or underwhelming. They've been kind of the same teams over the years. So to me, when we talk about, and I'll just touch on it, generally, but when you talk about teams over many, many years, a lot of times I think it just, comes into the travel factor, how a team travels into the site and everything like that. It's just a good situation that Dallas and maybe an overlooked spot for sometimes like that. So sorry about missing all those, you guys, if those were late comments. Maybe
yeah, they're a little bit late, I think, but it's okay. I mean, we're just like a game behind.
Right.
Well, it's one of those, like, if you're watching on your phone and someone calls, on your phone, then it, pauses you for a little bit, probably just enough for a little bit of delay there.
Yeah. Well, in fact, Latifa came in on, and then Verley as well. I thought maybe the chat was behind. So Orlando does like the Stars. He likes them on the puck line. You got to appreciate that because you're getting well over $2 on the puck line here with them. And Seaver also comments on it and says, Caps underperform at home. Take it from him. I think he might have mentioned he's in the DMV, right? So Caps getting healthy, but they are old. So I like
Ovechkin old? Well, what kind of old?
We didn't do Ovi enough service when it was mentioned about his records, his milestone goal yesterday because we had such a busy show, but it was acknowledged in the chat. So we'll mention Dallas 5-9-1 to the under on the road, Washington 4-8-1 to the under at home, but we'll take Dallas here, Mindy, as another consensus play in hockey.
Sounds good.
We're looking for a big day here.
That's right. We need one.
Kraken, let's get Kraken and the Hurricanes in this one. That was for Rapper Capper, actually, my song reference there. Carolina here is favored, probably about $1.95 or so, and the total maybe is ticked down a bit to 6 under 15.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna go to the under here. Like we talked about, the Kraken have not been scoring. It's just, man, I don't know what happened to them. But yeah, um, I don't know. I'm gonna take a look at the under here. On the road, the Hurricanes are 4-1 in their last 5 home games. Kraken 4-1 on the under two. On the road here. Still gonna go ahead and go under 6 today.
All right, Mindy goes under in the Seattle and Carolina game. Yeah, Seattle 7-11 to the under as a dog. Carolina 8-14 to the under as a favorite. Um, they could get to 6. I'm worried about it a little bit. I want to play that with you in a way, but I'm not sure. So I'll just still look at this Seattle team on the puck line at a reasonable price here. I think at minus $1.45. They are 13-5 as a puck line dog. Carolina 8-14 as a puck line favorite. I think that gives me a profitable situation here with Seattle, who's proven to be one of the best road teams so far in the league this season. I'll take them here, plus a goal and a half at the good team, the Canes, but they don't seem to be able to get the handicap a lot of times. Orlando says they'll go on a run and maybe score some goals here tonight. Curtis says he wants to go under with you, Mindy. So there's some support. Scotch is with me. He says take the Kraken plus a goal and a half. So we've got some consensus, but we got 2 plays here. We'll kind of diversify a little bit. I agree with you guys. I think on the under, just going to prefer this a little bit more for my free pick here. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, the Kings, all of a sudden, they're struggling a little bit. Now they've got to go take on the Bruins. Maybe the Bruins are the best. I don't know right now, but, we talked about those teams in the East. 220 is almost seems reasonable for the Bruins of late. The total's
These Kings
definitely
got to
high.
get it going, Ramon. I mean, what's going on? Get your light a fire under those Kings here. But they are 4-0 versus Boston on the road in the last 4 games here. I'm going to take these Kings on the puck line. I think they can do it. Plus 1.5, minus about 130.
Okay, well, do it if you're saying we're going to do it because Kings 11-6 as a puck line underdog. They've got to come up with something here against the mighty Bruins. Curtis wants to lay the puck line with the Bruins at plus $1.10. I'm going to go with Mindy in this one. I'm going to take the Kings as a puck line dog. Like I said, 11-6 as a puck line dog. Over is 4-1 the last 5 meetings between these two. I don't know if Latifa is saying the Kings or if she's putting the crown on her head because everyone calls her the queen in the chat. So
scratching it up, Queen.
Scotch says he likes the over in this one. And how about Orlando? He says the Kings show up tonight after that dismal performance last time. But Verley likes the under here in this one. So a little bit of a toss up here. So maybe Latifa's with us on the Kings. So, all right, Mindy, we got 3 plays so far.
All right, ready for some hockey action on the peripheral TVs.
The Ducks are going to be taking on the Canadians here. The Canadians are, they're taking money here. They're up to $1.60 or so, maybe even $1.65 at some places. Total 6 over 15. Canadians taking money here.
So remember where I said if you kind of look through last 5 games on all these teams, the one that shows the most zeros might be the Ducks. I'm going to go ahead and take the Canadians here, laying a puck and a half, plus 160 here. Again, the Ducks have only scored 1 goal in like 3 games. They're 6-12 on the puck line on the road. Ducks 1-5 in the last 6 meetings here as well.
Did you? Oh no, I need you, Mindy, and you froze on me. But I heard what you said. I didn't know if you were saying on the money line or the puck line. Oh, there you are. Did you say puck line or money line though?
No, I took the puck line, so it'd be Canadians minus 1.5 goals here.
Oh
plus
boy!
160.
Oh wow! Okay, I could appreciate that. I don't know if I was willing to go that far with my Habs here against the Ducks. I mean, Anaheim certainly 6-22 as a dog, but Just 2-13 on the road as well. Man, bad. Montreal 5-1 at home against Anaheim. Montreal has taken the steam here. So, all right, Mindy. I don't know. Scotch says do it. Scott
Are we
has
gonna
been on
do
the
it? Are you
show.
sure?
We're gonna do it. Well,
All right, I'm writing it down. You can't change your mind now. You're in. You're all in. Plus 160. That's going to be a nice winner for us.
Curtis, oops, I might have missed that one here. I think that's for this game, Latifa, right? On this
Right.
game? Curtis says Montreal over as well. Hey, Subrat Sony is here. Nice to have you in the chat. Welcome to Team Steam, Servat. We did cover the NFL game back at the very beginning of the show. Just rewind it a little bit if you can. And take a look at some of these other. So Butterscotch says lay the goal and a half. That sounds good enough for me. Sean does like the over here. I'm going to mark that on my card right now in this one. So he is, after all, the king of totals. And so let's do it, Mindy. Let's go Montreal. Let's lay the goal and a half. I was willing to just go money line, but yes, I mean Anaheim is having all sorts of woes right now. Certainly, like I said, I follow the Ducks closely. Right. One of my top teams to follow. So, all right, we're on another one. We're on 4 plays out of 5 so far. Wow. Penguins and Panthers here. Panthers are favored about $1.20. It might be shading a little bit towards Pittsburgh, taking it back a little bit. This total, though, is on the move a little bit here now. It was 6.5 over 15. It's now 6.5 under 15.
Yeah, look at this Penguins team here on a big old hot streak, right? Both teams playing nice defense, though, as well. I mean, 2 pretty good teams here. If I take a look at it, though, the Penguins are kind of 2-7 on the road to the under. The under 7-2 in the last 9 here head to head between these 2 teams. I'm going to go ahead and go under, Ramon.
Mindy, I don't know. I mean, are they going to laugh at us if we put up, 10 plays on our site with this? Because I like the under here as well in this game against Florida, especially at 6.5, and you see the move to the under. So that's the way I think it's going to go as well. Look, Florida, I think they're kind of, you think about how hot Pittsburgh has been, but bookmakers weren't shy about opening Florida as a favorite. Yes, the move is slightly going to Pittsburgh, but maybe that might be just it's certainly not steamy or anything. I mean, maybe it's just public consensus because Pittsburgh has been so hot. Curtis did say he liked Pittsburgh on the money line, certainly laying a huge price there, plus 1.5 at minus 240 or so. So probably not going to get involved there. But Pittsburgh with that 6-game winning streak. But Florida 15-10-1 as a money line favorite. So I don't know. I mean, Florida looks like maybe the I don't want to say the subtle side that I want to get on, because you'd think Pittsburgh's hot. Florida's pretty, playing pretty well all of a sudden. Orlando says regulation draw.
See, and I like what Curtis has to say, right? I love Pittsburgh on the puck line, but then you're, paying like the 245, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So I like that, but I'm like you, Ramon. I kind of, tend to think the Panthers are probably going to come away with this win tonight, but not overly confident here all at the same time with that hot streak.
I don't know if Seaver's saying take Florida, but maybe he is there. And
Scotch that's my guess. Yeah.
Okay, Scotch likes the under. There you go. That gives us a little bit of confidence for the consensus here as well. Even game. We're in the 6.5 zone here, and I think Latifa as well. We've got 6 games we've covered. We were on 5 different plays. So Curtis says he does not mind laying that big price. And
again, we've talked about his wide variety of plays too. So we evens those out with, the big dogs there just as well as he likes the laying the $2 there too. So, and again, I have that one as my second highest ranked puck line today. So if that matters to everyone, how I rank by puck lines, but that would be my second best of the day.
Let's take a look now at the Blue Jackets going in and taking on the Lightning here. Here's a big favorite with the Lightning. They're 315 or so. And this total, another one that's moved to the under here, when I put these in 2 or 3 hours ago, was 6.5 over 15. Pretty much market wide. Looks like it's moved at least to 6.5, and also a lot of 6.5 unders now. So here's another one kind of on the move to the under. We already talked about how we see a lot of the totals getting lower. This one heading under with the bettors.
Yeah, but I still like the over here today on this one, even though it may be trending a little bit, to the under. The over is 4-1 the last 5 meetings here between these two teams. Tampa Bay has definitely been, trending over here as of late. They're 7-3 to the over in the last 10. So yeah, I like this overplay of 6.5 today.
Man, Mindy, we're going to have multiple packages on our Team Steam account this week. You're going to be working overtime today, I'm afraid, in this one. Tampa Bay 11-5. Oh, hey, if we could have a big day, we could really do some damage. Tampa Bay 11-5 to the over at home. 4 last 5 meetings between these two East teams have gone over. So, big number here at that 6.5, and it is, like I said, trending under. But this is one where I did want to go over here. Tampa Bay 6-1 against Columbus in the last 7 meetings, but I want to go over in this game. And here comes Sean. That just takes care of it. I mean, we're on the over here. Another pick for Team Steam. I think Latifa, I think she still might be talking about this game still. So I'll flash that up there. But Sean likes the over here. I think we like the over. Scotch says he wants to lay the puck line here with Tampa Bay. That one's at a $1.33, certainly. So maybe Tampa Bay starting to get it together a little bit. Lightning in regulation is going to allow for a little bit cheaper price here as well. So never mind. I never mind that when it comes to big favorites. I think that's always a way to lower your price in that one. So, yep. Scotch says it's a nice play. And Orlando says, how about the Tampa Bay team total over? That'll also give you an opportunity to get involved with a derivative at a much better price than just laying the money line. So definitely appreciate that play from O. All right, we're on it, Mindy.
We're doing it. What are we up to right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far.
Oh my gosh!
All right.
Is that okay with you?
Always okay with me. I mean, when we can find consensus winners, I'm real happy with that, Ramon.
Winners is the key.
You, like you said, right? You can't, be plus 700 if you, don't play, 7 games. So.
Well, I mean, and I'm not going to necessarily just, I always say, what is the term that I use? Go to the total or something when I like the play that you do, and I'm not necessarily, going to use it as a premium. Pivot. So, okay, this is a good game here. The Maple Leafs and the Rangers, showing the Leafs here.
We did Maple Leafs and Rangers, right? Or did I just cross it off on accident?
No, we have not yet.
All right.
That's what happens when you got a 12-game card. Once you start talking about it, you'll realize you hadn't done it yet. But,
I marked through it, so I must have just marked it on accident there.
Well, Leafs here favorite on the road here, $1.20, and the total is 6. I did show that this total did open as high as 6.5 with a heavily juiced under, but right now pretty much 6 flat everywhere.
Well, I like the Maple Leafs today, Curtis, but I'm not sure I can play them here on the puck line. Maple Leafs are 8-3 on the road. Rangers 6-6 at home. Both teams here are 4-0 in the last 4, so should be a great game here, definitely. But yeah, I like the Maple Leafs. I'm just going to take them here on the money line.
Okay, and it looks like we have, a little bit of a discrepancy too amongst our chat members
Of
in this
course. In a
one.
good game like
So
this? Right.
yeah, Toronto 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. Toronto also 8-3 on the road. Pretty impressive that they've been playing pretty well. Both teams with 4 game winning streaks. Maybe this is uh, I would say the featured game of the day, Mindy. Right now, no doubt,
Sure.
the close game, two good teams going at
Right.
it in this one. So uh,
Both 4 and
no
0 coming in.
problem.
It's gonna be good.
Easy to see that the chat might be have mixed feelings about this game, but for me, I'm gonna end up going over in this game. Anybody have any opinion on the total here in this one? That's the way I'm going to go. I'm going to go over tonight with Toronto. Maybe I've gotten burned a few times, with the games involving Shesterkin, but at 6, I'm going to go over in this
Well,
one.
I have it going over, so I can, bring some sort of consensus with you, Ramon.
Fair enough. Let's do it. Well, Mindy's on Toronto,
Yeah.
laying the small number. I'll be
Not
on
an
the.
official consensus play, but I
But
tend to
we got
lean
enough
to
of those.
right.
All right, the Preds here are going to take on the Jets, and I'm showing the Jets here. Definitely taking money. They opened a $1.40. Right now they're a $1.55, and here's another one that's pretty much 6 flat. Although I am showing it just edging up higher at some spots. A few that are juiced to the over here in this one with the Preds and the Jets.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over 6 in this one. It's 4-0 in the last 4 Thursday games, so it's Thursday, I believe. Even though I can't remember which day is which for the most part. But the over is also 4-0 in the Jets' last 4 home games here as well. I'll take the over 6.
All right, and I think Sean's talking about this game when he says he wants to go over in this one, and I want to go over as well, you guys. Yeah, Winnipeg does play a little bit better brand of defense at home. They are 5-9-1 to the under at home, but I've got mostly this one graded at about in more of the models showing 6.5 here, and that's the way that I kind of want to go. I don't mind Nashville maybe in this one at the price here. I know Winnipeg's been a lot tougher at home. They are 10-3 as a favorite as well, and Nashville's lost 4 straight. But man, I kind of lean Nashville here in this one. But let's go over. Scotch is going over as well. We've got a huge card here today on Team Steam. Let's see if we can get
You like
onto
what
the
you like,
leaderboard.
Ramon.
Let's see if we can't get onto the leaderboard today. Sean's going to be part of our leaderboard if we get on
That's
there,
right.
as well as everyone in the chat. All right, my home team, I guess, here now all of a sudden, VGK. I just noticed today, or yesterday, as I actually went out into the world of trying to.
You made it? You made it out of the studio?
Well, I went to the grocery store, and what I saw was a lot of, on the license plates, a lot of them have. It says GK. They have a special license plate you can order for the Golden Knights.
Are you getting yourself one of those, Ramon?
Well, I don't know. My car's registered in California, so
For now. You only got 30 days. Come on, Ramon.
anyways, here. So Vegas is going to be a big favorite though on the road. Can they get $2 here against Chicago on the road? The total is 6.5 under 20 now. Looks like the total's heading down again.
Well, I mean, according to the trends, I think it's maybe up for discussion. The home team is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings in this head-to-head matchup. So I don't think the Blackhawks are necessarily going to win this game, but I am going to take them on the puck line. I'll take the 1.5 goals here, minus 150. It's 7-8 on the puck line. They've scored 4 goals in their last 3 games. I think they can. I think they can get it done. I mean, so basically, what I was saying is the Golden Knights have only scored 4 goals in their last 3 games. I don't think I put that in there, other than they did score, 6 their last game out. But it's not one of those that, to me, Vegas is putting up enough goals here that I would feel comfortable with Vegas on the puck line.
Understood. I kind of want to be on this one too. Vegas is 9-14 as a puck line favorite, so I kind of want to take Chicago on the puck line. I can respect what Scotch is saying. Chicago's been just bad right now, but Vegas right now going, on the road, the way they're not scoring necessarily. Uh, we play just almost every game here, and that's scaring me a little bit. But let's go ahead and take the Blackhawks plus a goal and a half. I will mention, Vegas 11-5 to the over on the road, Chicago 9-6 to the over at home. But the way these teams are going, I'm not sure there's going to be goals here. So I don't know. I was kind of feeling the under a little bit, but I don't know. I want to take Chicago.
Yeah,
I know what
I'll
Scott
start the
is
under.
saying. This team is bad, but feels like it could just be, 3-2, something like that. So let's take another one, Mindy.
All right, we got it. We got it.
We don't bury ourselves here. We've had a lot of
You
support.
need to have some faith in us, some confidence in us. I think we'll do okay.
Yeah, well, it's just a huge, huge card with a high volume. I mean, I'm a high volume guy. I don't mind, but I didn't want to, take away from Minnie. And Mindy's going to save her best for her premiums, and we'll see. So we got another one, Mindy. We got obviously 2 packs of plays today for sure in hockey. Wow.
Maybe we could find 2 more winners here.
Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. St. Louis and Edmonton here, and I'm showing Edmonton obviously a pretty big favorite, but it is going down a little bit. Maybe there's been a little move on the Blues here. I'm showing it down to 165. Total, though, definitely about 6.5 over 20.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a movement. Oilers opened at about minus 185-ish, something like that, I think. But again, I'm taking the over here as well. Blues 7-3 to the over last 10 road games. Oilers 8-2 at home over the last 10. St. Louis 11-4 last 15 overall to the over. Oilers 5-1 last 6 home games to the over. I like the over today, 6.5 goals.
All right, Mindy's going to be on the over 6.5. Yeah, St. Louis 9-5-1 to the over on the road. Edmonton 10-4-2 to the over at home. I'm not quite able to get there, I'm afraid, in this one, but we do have Curtis coming in with you on the over. I'm going to look to St. Louis here on the puck line. They are 7-10 as a puck line dog, which isn't terrific, but I just think at the price, to see the move on St. Louis, I want to come in on St. Louis here, plus a goal and a half on the road against Edmonton. Don't have any trends necessarily to prove me wrong here in this one, but Orlando says the first period over in this one. So Mindy's going to be on the over 6.5, and I'm going to take the Blues on the puck line at minus $1.60 or so.
Yeah,
I don't want to lay much more than that. And Butterscotch says he's starting to see some sevens elsewhere. Obviously, it's going to be juiced to the under there, but interesting. Probably want to get on it now, and my price might be going up. All right, and finally we got the Sabres and the Abs, and the Abs here favored, and they're favored by $1.80 or so. They opened maybe $1.70. They're taking a little bit of money, and the total has definitely been steamed a little bit here. Right now it says it was 6.5 over 15. Now it's at least 6.5 under. Juice to the under at the discount shops, and at the square shops at probably at least 6.5 under 15.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I just have to take the Avalanche here on the money line. Again, it's not my favorite at being something like minus 180, but if I look at these, trends here, 12-3 versus Buffalo, last 15. Each of these teams are 6-6 on the puck line, so I really can't, discern anything really by that. Sabres score a lot, but Sabres are 1-9 in Colorado, so that's where I'm going to be today. I'm taking the Avalanche on the money line.
Mindy, want to say hello and welcome to Kevin Graham joining us in the chat. Great to have Kevin with a comment and a pick. in this one. Hopefully, you've already been watching. Maybe we've already greeted you, but it looks like a new name to me anyway. So appreciate having you here. And we do have more puck line. Looks like Kevin and Curtis like the Sabres in this one on
We
the
can
puck
both
line.
win.
So you both can get there. And tell you what, I kind of agree with those guys a little bit, but it's not going to be my recommendation necessarily in this game. I like the steam that came in, I think, on the under in this one.
Yep.
Colorado's 9-16 to the under so far this season. Buffalo's definitely, we know they're an over team, but I think we definitely can see it. We think of their scoring as kind of more slanted to their home games where their offense has been so spectacular. Yeah, they're definitely a high scoring team. I will also mention that 14 of the last 20 meetings between these two East-West teams, so pretty big sample. This is over about a 10-year span, but 14 of the last 20 games have gone over. But I'm going to go under in this one with Buffalo and Colorado as my free pick. Mindy's going to lay that big price, right? Mindy, take the money line.
I am. I'm going to be at the -180 on this one.
No problem. That's a look at our hockey for today. Dare I say, Latifa, have you fallen asleep on us? We didn't get any picks there towards the end.
I mean, she probably has worked all night. I mean, so, or maybe it's dinner time, right?
And it was a big card. So appreciate everyone's comments there. Just terrific session of hockey talk there. We're not done. Don't leave, everybody. We got 3 football games we're going to look at, but that was really good. And boy, Mindy, we're going to have some action tonight.
I guess. Jeez, can't fall asleep early, Ramon. The good thing is this is like our Friday, so I am always able to try to suffer through the last of a football game with about not being able to keep my eyes open. So, but I always look forward to sleeping in a little bit here on Friday mornings.
Well, that's a lot of action, and hopefully everyone's okay with that. You guys can pick your spots, but Mindy and I, we believe in high volume leads to higher returns, and you can't go, like I said, you can't win a big without, you can play 1, 2, or 3 games with big unit plays if that's your style. I think Mindy and I are more, lower units, higher volume is kind of our
Vegas over the long run. Yep.
Our style. Yep.
Smart play. Yep. Not forcing anything, and that's how you work it. Consistency.
Now, tomorrow, Mindy, the bowl games will begin, and they're going to start pretty early, actually, 11:30 Eastern, 10:30
set my alarm,
8:30 Pacific. And with this one, with Miami of Ohio, going to go up against UAB. So there's definitely plenty of news here in this one. Your favorite quarterback entered the transfer portal, and they're going to end up going with Avion Smith, I think his name is. He's a kind of a running quarterback. So, but in this one, you got UAB, a pretty substantial favorite, but they actually opened. Let me see. It was as low as 9, but now it's 11. It might have even fluctuated a little bit. And this total opened about maybe 43.5 or so. And it's now up to 45. So just want to, if I can, Mindy, let me just get one note there. I want to make sure I get the line move right. So opened 11.5, did tick as low as, I show it going as low as 9, and then back up possibly to 11. So a little bit of fluctuation here in this one. And this is the Bahamas Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
The Bahamas Bowl. Well, hopefully I'm up to date with all of my, information since, I thought yesterday was Tuesday. So UAB, they do put up, 30 points a game here. Miami, Ohio scores 20. If I take a look at their averages here over the season, I think the big difference between these two teams is going to be in the running game. You have McBride here for UAB, puts up 155 yards a game, 19 touchdowns. UAB has, Jermaine Brown Jr., who averages 69 yards a game, 6 touchdowns compared to that, Miami's top rusher, being their quarterback, who averages only 55, something like that. I think UAB in this, kind of 1-2 punch, I think they're going to be able to control the game here. I like UAB -11.
Yeah, I mean the Miami of Ohio, they are 3-0 in their bowl games under Coach Martin, but UAB, their coach is heading out the door here. They really rallied around this interim coach who came in right before the season, so I think you're going to get a very very strong effort from UAB. They actually had petitioned the regents, the athletic department, if you will, to keep this coach. But Trent Dilfer is actually going to come in next year and be the coach. We'll see how Dilfer is as a head coach. I do think that Dilfer is bringing in some very, very sharp assistants. I would say the I know that the players really like Vincent as their coach right now, and this will just be his last game. He was an interim coach this year, but I'm putting UAB on the lookout. I would say watch out for the Blazers in the future. I mean, here's a team that you know basically had scrapped their football program, was about to and getting it back
Right.
together now. I think UAB is a team to, I mean, they're still UAB, right? But again, I think they're going to be a team to watch out for in the future in this one. Look, McBride, you mentioned his number. Miami of Ohio does not have a very good rushing defense, especially late in the season. I thought they were actually quite bad, giving up quite a bit of rushing yards in this one. So I kind of agree with what you're saying. It's just a big, big number here, but I think UAB is motivated. Just wish it was back to 9. UAB 0-6 against the spread on the road. I don't know if you guys how you feel about equating it, because that when you're on the road, you're kind of going into hostile environments, and here you're talking about a neutral site game, a great place to play a football game, I would think, in the Bahamas. But Miami of Ohio, I mean, they are a gutsy team that might be able to get the number here. So, one thing I will mention about the bowls, a lot of times you're going to see a lot of big movement in bowl games here, but don't be scared. Don't be scared to say, I promise you on this, don't be scared to say, look, the spread was 3 and now it's 7, because what's the move is more based on the news. You're not missing the boat necessarily on the line, right? So sometimes we think, oh man, it was 3 and now it's 7 because the steam came in or everybody's on it. A lot of times it's the adjustment of the line because of the transfer portal or injuries or whatever. In fact, in the bowl games over the last few years, the steam, if you will. And I know, right? I'm the steam chaser.
Right.
The steam has worked in bowl games. It's basically about 67%
I'll take 67%, Ramon.
over the last several years. Just lay it. Don't even
Right.
worry about it. Just lay it. And also, if it over the last just few seasons, I want to say 3 or 4 years, and I'm generalizing on these numbers. I don't have them concrete, but it's even stronger over the last few years since the transfer portal has kind of been rolling here over the last 3 or 4 years. It's even higher. It's about 75%. The steam is good. So don't be afraid to say, look, oh man, I can't lay 10 now when it was 7. Just lay it. Just lay it. Trust me. Just lay the points or take the points, whatever the case may be. But I'm just saying, trust the team. If you think you have not gotten the best of the line, different concepts for the regular season. I'm talking about the bowls specifically. Do not be afraid that you didn't get the best of the number, as long as you feel like the move has been, related to the news. There, yeah, the money may have come in, but it's probably been adjusted by the bookmakers reacting to the news rather than the money that's come in. They maybe have adjusted. Sure, maybe somebody got the best of the line because they got the news earlier and the books were slow, whatever. But just trust the move if you're on that side. So for me, Mindy, I like UAB. I think in this
Are
game,
you
it's
not
gonna be
trusting the move, Ramon?
well, no,
Kidding.
well, that's not to me. That wasn't a move necessarily based on the news in this game. I mean, I think we all.
I'm just giving you grief.
You know, well, it's warranted to answer it in a way because of Gabbert, right? But I think everyone knew that he was going to uh, enter the transfer portal. I think that one was already built in. So I think the move back to 9. I mean, I can't. I was trying to look to see when it happened actually, and it's just in my notes. So Kevin Graham, I don't. UAB didn't cover or won't cover. I'm not sure what he's quite saying there, but man, Miami of Ohio, they are gutsy, and these are a lot of points. And man, almost pondering here at this point because I have a premium on the total. And anybody who follows line movement probably knows where I'm maybe already going with that. But I don't know. I think I like UAB. Latifa's on UAB, so Butterscotch says take UAB. So I'm going to go with UAB. I'll do
All
it.
right, let's do it,
All
Ramon.
right.
Let's do it. Your favorite pick of the day, UAB.
I'm going to have a play on the premium on the total
What's your
tomorrow.
play again?
Head on over to Tony's.
I forgot to write down your total. What was that one?
Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Get on board with my premium selections. We're going to crush the Bulls. And look, to tell you right now, you don't even need, all of our viewers don't even subscribe. If you see the move on the, based on the news, you already know which way we're going to go most of the time. It's not concrete. All right. Wow. Look at this one. I mean, Troy and you don't laugh. Nobody's laughing, right? These two teams have won both teams conference champions. Both teams are on 10-game winning streaks. This is a very, very attractive matchup. And right now I'm showing Troy as a 1-point favorite here and the total 56.
Yeah, UTSA now 38 points a game, 17th in the NCAA, while Troy 26.2 points a game puts them at 153rd. UTSA here, they outgained Troy by about 110 yards per game here. Their third down efficiency is ranked 49th compared to Troy at 34 here. UTSA has won 10 games in a row, have one of the top offenses of pretty much any of those mid-major, teams that you can find. They got Frank Harris at QB. Look at him go, like 297 yards a game, 31 touchdowns this season, only 7 INTs. While Gunnar Watson for Troy puts up 224, still good numbers, 13 touchdowns, but more interceptions. He puts up 10 this season here. I like UTSA. We'll see how they do. I think it should be a great game.
Oh, it's going to be an awesome game, no doubt about it. This is probably the most underrated, I would think, of all the bowl games, really. I mean, when you think about it, like I said in the run-up.
Yeah.
Conference champions, both teams riding 10-game winning streaks. The one totally interesting thing about, you mentioned it, I mean, UTSA, top 15 scoring team in the country. Troy, a top 10 scoring defense in the country. So Troy's offense has been improving. So watch out. I mean, I know what you're saying. I mean, the Roadrunners are fun to watch. They're spectacular. I mean, they're all about points. But Troy's offense has improved as well. So
all I did is saw them score touchdowns in that championship game, right? I mean, they look good.
Yeah. And that's the way, I'm going to kind of look in this one. I mean, look at the total here, right? I mean, it was as low as, if I'm not mistaken, 53.5 here. Let's see. As low as 53.5, but, it also had been reached as high as 57.5 with a little bit of buyback here. But maybe it could go up again. So I don't know if anybody likes the over in this one. It might be the time right now, but that's the way I'm going to go in this one. I'm going to go over. Look, I like Troy's defense, but UTSA is going to kind of engage them, I think, in a little bit of a shootout. And like I said, I think Troy's offense is improving. And again, UTSA certainly, has been this game's kind of fluctuated for sure as far as the favorite is concerned. There, I mean, UTSA did open a slight favorite. Now Troy's the slight favorite. So I'm going to go with the over in this one. Mindy's on the Roadrunners in a very, very great bowl game. I think everyone should check that one out. Latifa says she's on it with the over in this one. And then again, underrated bowl game of the season. It's going to be on the first day of the bowls on Saturday. All right, we're going to just look at one of the bowl games on Friday. Tomorrow. This next game we're going to look at is on Saturday. This is the only one we're going to look at today. We'll look at the other bowl games, tomorrow, but on Saturday. We'll look at the Saturday bowl games on Saturday. How's that? So this one, though, Mindy, big drop in this total. This one looks
what
like
are you going to do?
yeah, this one looks like it's going to be like a preseason football game. I'm showing Cincinnati favored here by 2, and the total is 39.5. This one opened as high as 45, but you got opt-outs all over the place. You got, 2 top 20 scoring defenses. Cunningham, he's done, and you got interim coaches as well. So.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say, right? I mean, what are you going to do in this one? 2 interim coaches, neither starting quarterback. I don't know. Does Cincinnati maybe have the best remaining players with their running backs and star linebacker maybe playing? But I think without Malik Cunningham, I think Louisville here is just going to struggle without him. I'm going to have to go Cincinnati here in this one. I don't know. I tried to look at the total, just couldn't come up with anything there either, Ramon. So I'm going to take Cincinnati here. I'll take a couple plus points.
Yeah, go ahead and take the Bearcats here at in the bowl game, the Cure Bowl. This one's in Orlando, Florida. So, this total is totally dropped. So it does scare me a little bit. I don't like this game too much at all. I mean, it's been a hot move to the under. I mean, the under has just pretty much been pounded time and time again. Has it gone too far, you guys, you think? I think maybe.
No.
Well, I think maybe it has gone a little bit too far. What I talked about earlier was strictly relating to the sides and not the total here. So I don't know. Maybe some fluky things will happen. I don't feel real confident here, but we got to give out a play. So I'm going to go over 39, but man, it'll be close because, again, I don't think this game is going to be as fun to watch as that last one for sure.
I'm surprised we don't have more comments on this game.
Well, when they have those bowl confidence picks, I think
right?
This might be get the one on it here.
0.
Yeah. So, well, it's a bowl game. I'm going to watch it for sure.
Sure.
And, definitely want to see a few things in this game, certainly. So here comes a few. No, maybe not. Maybe we'll just wrap up the show. Wrap it up for the morning's team right there. Gave us 90 minutes or so, or even longer of action. So let's get out.
Almost. Thanks for staying with us. We appreciate it.
Appreciate everybody in the chat today as well. We're dark tomorrow. We'll be back on Saturday with NFL, college football, NHL, of course, and also pro football. Don't forget, there's 3 NFL games this Saturday as well. So they're good, pretty good ones. So we'll talk about those. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out our premium picks over at Tony's Picks. These are absolutely our best picks every day over at Tony's Picks, including our $15 plays, our best bets, and our 3-pack and multi-pack of games over there. There's Sean. We just want to mention Sean, who was great to have him in the chat. So let's feature him a little bit. He's got his break the bank 2 totals guaranteed. So check out Sean over at Tony'sPicks.com. And also don't forget our $15 picks and our best bets. Each capper can designate a best bet each day in each sport. So Tony's got an NFL pick tonight. Mindy's got an NFL pick tonight. Mindy's also got a best bet in college, a best bet in the NBA. Brandon has his NFL best bet as well. Nick's got one in the NHL. Brandon also has one in college hoops. There's Sean's NFL best bet. It was great to have him here. Come on, Sean, if you don't come on this show, come on the night show, whatever you want. Here's Collins also with best bets in the NBA there. Ben also with an NBA best bet, and Daniel with an NFL best bet as well. All right, Mindy, good show. Good job. Good job to everyone in the chat today as well. Appreciate all of you guys there.
I had well over 50 folks for the most part. So thanks again. Tell your friends about us. Like and subscribe. Do all the good stuff.
Latifa, Sean, Kevin Graham was here. Orlando was here. Curtis was here as well. What I'm going to start doing is just get to as many as I can before I get tired, and then apologize to everybody else. You'll get your chance to get your shout outs, certainly, but just appreciate everyone so much. That's why I like doing that with Seaver was here as well today. Just to want to thank everybody for joining us today here on the Morning Steam. Servrat Sony joined us today. Verley Thompson was here. Don't forget. Just want to thank everyone for joining us here on the Morning Steam. How about Rapper Capper was here? Joe Jiggy was here as well. Rapper Capper and Joe Jiggy, they could probably have a video, I would think, with those two. So just appreciate everyone. Great job, Mindy. Daniel Trushell was here. KG was here as well. So thank you, everyone, for joining us on the Morning Steam.
And Ramon, as you were scrolling, you had AKA Baby Squeak that came in.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What did
obviously I think knows, I don't know, Latifa, are you guys friends? I mean, Latifa knows everyone, so I imagine. But thanks for joining us today. That was nice to have you, or at least first time chatter anyway.
Baby Squeak. Awesome. Terrell Riley was here as well. Rodney Barton, Fonzie stopped by, Dave Redling, Terrell Riley, just everyone. Just awesome to have you. We'll catch up with you again on Saturday. Thurman Hill, Blake was here. Ron Hahn was here. Don't forget.
That's right.
Start betting those coffees. Mad Bowl 69. I don't know if Tony didn't want to say the word 69, or if he wasn't up to speed, if he couldn't get his Roman numerals out quite quickly enough there. But yesterday he acknowledged the Mad Bull with his Roman numeral, calling out the letters there in that one. So Neil Benson also here today as well. So that might be all I have time for. I want to get Mindy out of here. We've been here long enough. If I see one more, I'll let you know. That's it. All right.
Mindy's hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Catch you on Saturday with more Morning Steam for Mindy Hahn. I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.